This hour by Frederick Remington, fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. Exclusive, no refrigeration, 10-year extended shelf life bacon. The thickest, meatiest, center-cut bacon in the industry at fullycookedbacon.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. The Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute, you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's Saturday, December 16th, and thank you again for tuning in to Wall Street Raw. Obviously, you have a lot of choices on a Saturday morning, and we certainly appreciate you tuning in to our program. Speaking of tuning in, if you do miss any of our shows, we are archived on iHeartRadio and iTunes, and you can go to gcnlive.com. That's gcnlive.com, and you can pick up the current programs running all the way back for the last couple years, I believe, are available on the website. Many of you may not be familiar with me, but I was one of the former 10 elves on that old Louis Rukeyser Wall Street Week TV program from a couple decades ago, and I was very fortunate to serve with my old friend Paul Kangas on the old Nightly Business Report. When I say old, it used to be on PBS, now it's on CNBC, but did that with Paul, who unfortunately passed away here this past year, but on the PBS Nightly Business Report program. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. We have a lineup of guests for you every week on our show. We try to do our best to keep us abreast of the market here. Our good friend Sinclair No, however, is taking a couple weeks off, so we're going to still tune in to Henry Weingarten and Don Villot on the next couple segments, and hopefully we'll get Harry Boxer on the air as well. Meanwhile, I'm honored to have one of my good friends and regular guests, Bill Murphy from the Gold Antitrust Action Committee, GATA, again on the program. And there's so much to talk about with the gold suppression and all the great work that Bill has been doing here for the past 15 or 20 years. And hey, Bill, I really appreciate you spending a few moments with us on the Saturday morning.
Well, thanks for having me, Mark.
Well, listen, I mean, I guess the big story, we talked about this off air, is the big surge in Bitcoin. In fact, on Friday, it hit a new high of $17,872. And, I have to consider myself a bit of a gold bug. I've been in the gold business for so many years, trading it and so forth. And the kind of move that we saw here in Bitcoin was the sort of the fantasy thing we were hoping gold would do, and it just didn't do it. And I think let me hear your point of view. Probably the suppression has a lot to do with this, I'm sure, right? Well,
yeah, it's remarkable. Recall the beginning of the year being at a crypto gold conference with Jeff Berwick, and they were ecstatic, the crypto guys, because it was the same price of gold at $1,240. Now here we are practically at the same price, and the Bitcoin is at the price you mentioned, and it's remarkable, and congratulations to those people. It's a once-in-a-lifetime, 10-lifetime story. And it just shows how much gold and silver are suppressed when those markets, which are outside the system, can do what they've done, and gold and silver just sitting here going nowhere in the 6-7 year bear markets. And when you look at what other assets have done, art, real estate, the Dow, what they say, S&P, NASDAQ, all-time highs, and gold and silver just sit there. It just shows you how much it's suppressed and what they've done to keep them under control.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with GATA, the Gold Antitrust Action Committee was organized back in the fall of 1998, and the goal there was to expose, oppose, and litigate against the collusion to control the price and supply of gold and related financial instruments. we know markets are rigged. We know the stock market is rigged. We know all central banks are in cahoots. It's been an ongoing situation that I guess as long as stocks go up, people are happy. They don't care who's manipulating as long as their bank accounts or their IRA 401ks continue to appreciate, I suppose. But part of that success, I think, has been because they've been holding gold back here a little bit, because if gold really takes off, it makes governments look bad, correct?
Well, absolutely. And look at what Bitcoin has done. There's astonishment. If gold were to go up, say, $100 or $200 in a day, there would be exclamations from the press. What's wrong? What's the matter? What is it telling us? That's just the way it's been for a very long time, and it remains that way. And it's exactly why the gold cartel, as Goddard calls them, has kept the gold and silver prices in total checkmate.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the successes you've had. I know you had a lawsuit against the Federal Reserve and using the U.S. Freedom of Information Act. Let's talk a little bit about what you've accomplished, proving your point here a little bit. For many of our listeners may be unfamiliar with this subject.
Well, we've had 4 international conferences. The last one was in London, a spectacular affair at the Savoy Hotel, and we did sue the Fed and to disclose what they're doing in the gold market, and we didn't get too far, but we did get a $3,000 check from them as ordered by the judge, and we've been to Washington many times. We've been on the internet all over the place, been to other conferences to expose what's going on here, and it's just remarkable that it's going to be 20 years soon, and the evidence is all there of what this gold cartel is doing, and yet the gold industry refuses to do anything about it, and the mainstream financial market press won't touch it. We just was interviewed for a Wall Street Journal story, front page, about the Fed and gold, and they put everybody in there. We introduced them to it, but left God out. And that's the way it's been this whole time. I compare it, quite honestly, to the sex scandals that are out now. When I know this Harvey Weinstein and what after all the years what he was doing, and everyone tried to expose what he was doing, got no place. Even my sister Chris was a model in New York decades ago, and she ran into him in a New York hotel and ran for her life. And it's the same kind of thing that's going to happen when this golden scandal breaks down the road. It'll be just as big a deal, and people will be coming out of the woodwork to say what was really going on all this time.
What do you think it will take to break this cartel or expose all this? What really needs to happen?
To me, it is only one way now after all these years. It's going to take an explosion in the gold-silver prices and some kind of financial chaos that affects the people that you were talking about earlier that right now, and rightly so, couldn't be happier with their 401ks booming, and everything is going great right now and couldn't be better. But if that turns and gold and silver are going nuts and they find out that why gold and silver were suppressed to prevent people from realizing what's going on, that's when the whole scandal will break, just like the scandal now with these politicians and other people and regarding the sex issue, which been there for a long time. People tried to expose it, didn't get anywhere, and now that it's exposed, look at what's going on.
And way back in April 97, in the meeting of the G10 Committee on Gold and Foreign Exchange, the minutes released by the Fed 2 weeks after the court's ruling showed G10 member Treasury and central bank officials secretly discussing the coordination of their policies toward the gold market. I read this in your report. It's really amazing that this is not getting circulated.
Yep, it's not, and I thank you for giving us some exposure on your show.
Well, listen, we talk about all the markets, and maybe we're just in one of these big 20-year cycles, Bill, and we're going to have to wait another few years for gold to coordinate with the cyclical forecasts that others are making. But there's no question.
Mark, if I may, I honestly think, because I don't want to be overly negative, this thing is going to explode out of nowhere. This is just my own opinion, but I don't think we're going to have a normal bull market in gold and silver anymore. It stays suppressed like it is right now, and then one day it's just going to explode out of nowhere and head for the moon. And I think if that's the good thing about what the Bitcoins and the cryptos have done, it shows what markets can do when they're unleashed. And there's no reason that if gold went up now $1,000 in a day, so what? Look at Bitcoin. It's just doing it day after day.
Thank you for joining us. Bill Murphy from GATA, Gold Antitrust Action Committee. We'll talk to Bill real soon. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Mark.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective. Hello, Mr. Anderson. The NSA has noticed how much time you spend on conservative news sites. We have no choice but to consider you a domestic terrorist.
Tired of your internet activity being monitored by Big Brother? Get VirtualShield.com, the world's easiest to use virtual private network. Browse the web anonymously, leaving pesky advertisers and spies in the dust. Get started today at VirtualShield.com. Take advantage of our free 30-day trial. VirtualShield.com. You have the right to remain private.
Excuse me, sir. Could you take a picture of my family and me with my cell phone?
Sure, Mrs. Anderson. Smile for the camera.
Too bad hackers never get proper permission to access your cell phone or computer camera. Anyone is or could be susceptible to illegal spying. That's why VirtualShield.com has developed IdentiSafe, a new security software that blocks camera and microphone access from unwanted spies. Get started today at VirtualShield.com. Take advantage of our free 30-day trial. VirtualShield.com. You have the right to remain private.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I'm here to tell you about GCNtelecare.com, a team of board-certified doctors assisting you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Within 15 minutes of registration, care your family can afford. Revolutionizing the healthcare industry, virtual consulting providing diagnosis of non-emergency medical issues by phone or secure video on computer or smart mobile devices. GCNtelecare.com, virtual care anywhere.
A commemorative President Trump dollar for only $5? Yes, the historic Trump dollar starts at only $5 at TrumpDollar.us. Choose from our unique 3-coin collection in gold, silver, and copper. The Vote Trump dollar, inaugural Trump dollar, and Make America Great Again Trump dollar. Available only at TrumpDollar.us. Minted in the USA, our Trump dollars commemorate President Trump's patriotic stand. Order your Trump dollar collection today in time for Christmas delivery at TrumpDollar.us. That's TrumpDollar.us.
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And our crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years from My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
Frustrated trying to get business capital? Want to take the slow process and rejection out of the equation? GCNloans.com removes the slow, irritating approval process. Instead, get quick, simple funding. Powered by David Allen Capital, 80% of our pre-qualified clients are approved in days. Pre-qualify at GCNloans.com and get your money this week. It's that easy. GCNloans.com. That's GCNloans.com.
Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday morning, December 16th. Always a pleasure having you on the show. I know you have a lot of choices on a Saturday morning, and I want to thank Bill Murphy for taking all the time he did here in the first segment talking about the gold market and his work at GATA. So hopefully we'll have Bill on again real soon. Meanwhile, my very good friend Don VIALOUX is joining us again this Saturday morning. Don is the past president of the Canadian Society of Technical Analysts. He's a chartered market technician. He was also an advisor to the Horizon Seasonal Rotation ETF between 2009 and 2015. And he authors two great blogs. One is timingthemarket.ca and equityclock.com. Good morning, Don. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me back, Mark.
Well, we can't say the markets aren't doing a lot these past few weeks, that's for sure. I mean, the Dow Industrials into new record highs again on Friday. Bitcoin into new record highs. Gold appears to perhaps hit a little bit of a trading bottom, we hope. And let's first talk about the Santa Claus rally. I know that's one of the areas you like to focus on.
Yeah, so we've also seen the TSE composite hit all-time highs this week as well. So typical at this time of year. Now, here comes the Santa Claus rally. North American equity markets have just entered their strongest 3-week period of the year, from mid-December to the first week in January. Now, the S&P 500 has advanced in 20 of the past 27 periods. An average gain per period was 1.6%.
Wow. Okay. So he's very generous to Canadian investors as well, I suppose, too, right?
Actually, even more generous to Canadian investors. It's amazing. The TSE composite, on average, has advanced in 23 of the past 27 periods from mid-December to the first week of January. On average, the index has gained 2.4% per period, so a really good gain. And there's lots of reasons for this happening each year as well.
Yeah, well, we have tax law selling on precious metals, as we talked about a moment ago. That might be impacting the metals here too, right?
Very much so. Tax loss selling normally reaches its peak right around the end of the second week in December. But there's some other things that happen, too. Investors, as we get into the Christmas period, are in a good mood, so they tend to be more buyers than anything else. Institutional investors usually close their books by this time of year, so they're basically out of the market for the next 2 to 3 weeks. That means that retail investors have a greater impact on markets. This is also a time when the big investment firms are making their top picks for the next year, and inevitably they're very, very bullish, so watch for that. We've already started to see something of that happening up here in Canada. And last but not least, a lot of people receive their bonuses at the end of the year, and much of those bonuses come into the markets in the beginning of January. So lots of really good positive things happening in the next 3 weeks.
Wow, wow. Meanwhile, let's look at some of the other markets here. The palladium continues to move higher. New bull market highs there.
Yeah, it was amazing. Palladium continues to ramp up. All-time highs for the palladium exchange-traded note. The symbol there is PALL, and just broke to new all-time highs on Thursday of last week.
Any idea how high palladium can go, Don?
Well, the trend right now suggests that between now and the end of its period of seasonal strength, which is the end of April, we could see palladium prices go up another 10%.
Wow, yeah, that's. I remember how volatile palladium was in decades past, and how I think it got down to almost $150, $200 an ounce in the last 10 years, and here we are back up over 1,000. Amazing. It's the best performing metal out there, right?
It certainly is. It's typical of this time of year when you get these turnarounds in precious metals. It's not only palladium, but also silver, gold, and platinum, of course. And it can happen so quickly. A good example, the GDX, the gold equity index in the States, just in the last 2 trading days is up over 4%. So that kind of a switch around at this time of year when tax loss selling pressures are gone can be quite impressive. And look for more of it happening right through the next few weeks.
Let's talk about the currencies a little bit. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar appears it might have hit a little bit of a trading peak here, huh?
Yeah, it's it's been interesting. The U.S. dollar did have a nice recovery prior to the Federal Reserve announcing its intention to increase its Fed fund rate. We saw that happening on Wednesday of last week, and so there's been a huge anticipation of the increase actually happening. Now that it has happened, it's been interesting. The U.S. dollar index said, okay, we've had a run for now. Looks like we're going to start to roll over. And we've seen the U.S. dollar index slowly but surely rolling over. That trend is likely to continue into the springtime. So it's an interesting opportunity for investors that can take advantage of weakness in the U.S. dollar.
So are you bullish going forward? A little pullback and then back up again? Is that how you're reading the market here? We should be buyers on weakness?
Pretty well. See, there are certain markets that benefit quite nicely when you get weakness in the U.S. dollar. Clearly, the commodity complex in general does very, very well. So you get things like copper, gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Right. All the industrial commodity stocks do very well during this particular period of time. So that seems to be the trend. In fact, we started to see a bit of that trend resurfacing last week. If you take a look at the copper stocks, quite amazing. Stocks like Freeport-McMoRan, symbol SCX in the States, and First Quantum Minerals, the big one up here in Canada, symbol being FM. Both of those stocks had just beautiful breakouts on the upside. They're very sensitive to copper prices, and copper prices look like they've already bottomed during the last couple of weeks. Higher copper prices means higher copper stock prices as well.
Tom, we only have a few seconds. Biotech sector looks like it hit a period of seasonal strength here, too.
Yeah, fascinating. It also bottoms right around the second week in December and moves higher right through until the end of February. There's something that happens that causes this particular move. Usually there's a big healthcare and biotech conference in the second week in January out in San Francisco, and a lot of investors will buy in anticipation of good news released at that particular conference. So that's another sector that looks like it's very well lined up for an interesting move over the next few weeks.
Don, I want to thank you very much for joining us. Don VIALOUX from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. Really appreciate all your insights on this Saturday morning, Don. So thank you again for taking this much time. Don, again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, really a lot of coverage there with the Canadian market, insight from good old Don VIALOUX, and I do encourage you to check out TimingTheMarket.ca and EquityClock.com. Some of the cyclical forecasts in there are just really amazing. Don't touch your dial. We're going to be back after the break with our good friend Henry Weingarten and hopefully Harry Boxer.
Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Warning. Texting while driving is illegal just about everywhere. So if you want to take advantage of a life-changing LASIK offer, pull over when you can, because a special opportunity is just one text away. The LASIK Vision Institute is offering absolutely free evaluations and dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK. Text the keyword CLEAR55 to 350350 to get the benefit of FDA-approved LASIK technology that gives the majority of patients 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Text to schedule your free appointment to see if LASIK is right for you. When you text CLEAR55 to 350350, you'll also get an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Today, it's your turn. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you've always wanted for a fraction of what others charge. This great offer is just a text away. Text CLEAR55 to 350350. That's CLEAR55 to 350350.
Have you ever wondered who the second person to discover gravity was? When you're in the mood for a treat, would you go to the second best bakery in town? Or how about the name John Breckenridge? Recognize it? If you don't, that's because he came in second to Abraham Lincoln. The firsts are first for a reason. Just how ID Stronghold was the first to create the technology to protect your credit cards from thieves with RFID chip scanners. ID Stronghold products block signals from those scanners, so thieves can't capture your critical data. Get a stronghold on your personal information and protect your family too. Don't settle for the second best wallet. Pick up ID Stronghold wallets for everyone on your list this holiday season. They're the perfect stocking stuffer, with leather wallets starting as low as $20 on Walmart.com, eBay, Amazon, and QVC. Save 10% by using coupon code PRESENT for a limited time. That's coupon code PRESENT only on IDStronghold.com. IDStronghold.com.
Are you happy washing your hands with harsh chemicals? Are you happy doing laundry with detergents? Are you happy paying high prices? Find your happiness with Pure Soap. These all-natural, earth-friendly Pure Soaps are the very best you've ever used. Buy in bulk. Get a 12, 36, or 48-month supply, or get items individually and still save big. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now, earth-friendly and natural soaps. Your family deserves the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com. Why not put your money up the drain for a change? See them at 5starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog. Cal Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils. See their full selection of soaps at 5starsoap.com. That's FIVE starsoap.com. Or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, December 16th, and always a pleasure having you on the show. Henry Weingarten, who's sitting there out in the wings for us. So Henry Weingarten is the managing portfolio manager of the Astrologers Fund, and if you want more information from Henry, I should say it's up front, go to afund.com. Henry's always very reliable guest for our show here, available every week, and I really appreciate you taking the time on Saturday. Henry, thank you again.
Sure. Actually, by the way, if they go to our website, we're putting on we do once a year an open webinar on which will be on the 21st at 11:29 a.m., which will be about an hour and a half, and that will be giving our forecasts for the year. So it's about a 40-minute to an hour and a half presentation, because it's also a live webinar. So if anybody is interested in that, if they go to our website at afund.com, they'll just see the link and they can register for it in advance.
Okay.
So,
but what's the date again?
Well, it's the winter solstice. It's 11:29 a.m. on Thursday, the 21st.
Okay, perfect overlap.
By the way, this is a very interesting technology because most webinars are really very boring as far as I'm concerned. This technology is like a regular being in a conference because you can not only talk to myself, you can talk to all the other people there, either by audio or by video. So you're actually seeing an audience, and you can see somebody you know, like a friend, you can go chat with him and so forth. So it's an interesting technology which we recommend when anybody does webinars. It's far superior to other things we've seen. Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to ask you the name of the platform. What was it called?
Oh, shoot. You've got me at a senior moment here. It's listed there. Begins with an S. I'll remember it somewhere during the talk. Okay. It's right on the website.
Okay, great. Well, I want to make sure you get people to tune into it because it's
Shindig.
Yeah, now that you mentioned, I remember. So
so now the markets. Well, they're sort of up as we very much expected, even though we think they're expensive. They're up. No surprise, they're going to be up in January. But if we look at the level, we thought that around 24,500 to 25,000, we would basically protect ourselves, and the same thing with 6,900 to 7,000 on the NASDAQ. So these are areas, even if they go a little higher, we're not concerned, and they may go higher. We don't see the 2,800 S&P targets yet, but that's certainly possible. But in any case, we're sort of protecting around here on a risk-reward basis. So that's number one. So all this stuff that's done the last week isn't very interesting. What we do find exciting is what's going to happen tomorrow at 5 p.m. And that, of course, is the new launch on the Bitcoin futures, because the other ones aren't very interesting, the one that took place. This one's a little more interesting. A lot of people feel it's going to have some negative effect for the markets. If we get to the area between 18,000, but probably about 18,400, we'll probably may do a real trade or a paper trade. We haven't decided, but around 18,400 is very critical. If it happens with the market going up there first on Sunday, it's a great short. But we'll see. But that's very short term because Bitcoin is going to keep going up. They did a survey that about 40% of the people, it went up, 16 times this year, and 40% of the people own it think it's going to do better next year.
Wow. I didn't know they were going to launch the futures over the weekend. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing it on Sunday. It's opening up at 5 p.m. Chicago time, 6 p.m. New York time. Wow. But the problem is, of course, you can't short. The shorting is not for real because there's no physical thing, and there's no incentive to sell. So it's not really until when options take place that it's going to have an effect in the market. Right now, it's just... It really doesn't have the negative effect it should because of the people who own it, the 100 people that own 40% of it. But in any case, and it probably will go well, but it's 2019 we're concerned about it, probably, along with everything else we're concerned about in markets. So the one thing I'll tell you, since you don't have to... if you're not free to come on Thursday, which, by the way, will be posted on YouTube later, so if you miss it, don't worry about it, is Trump. You remember we talked about Trump last year?
Yes.
Well, he was going to do 3% growth. We had 10 years of stagnation in the marketplace, and now we're at 3%, et cetera, and we see it in the marketplace. So everyone was asking, well, what about Trump next year? And the answer is he's going to do very well. The sky's the limit. In some ways, he'll do better. And certainly a lot of ways he could do better, that's for sure. Certainly in some of the people he works with. So I think that's going to be improvement, but he's going to be extremely optimistic. He's going to do well, and that's going to carry over into the U.S. market. So by and large, we're going to be bullish on the markets, even though we think they're too expensive. So how do you play that? You play that by being very individual in what you see. So rather than the indices, which actually have done well, and they may continue to do well, I think if you do stock selection, you'll do a better job. So that's sort of the first of 5 things that we'll be talking about. But the people who are hoping he's going to disappear soon are, I think, going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah, particularly the media, which I was going to rant and rave at a whole segment I was going to do on that on the show today. I don't know if I'll have time, but basically they're out to get him and they're not going to succeed. That's good to hear.
Exactly. And it's very sad because, when I used to go to Argentina years ago, like in 2003, we had the pronist and the non-pronist, and nobody talked to each other. It was just, it's better now there. And unfortunately, a lot of the Republican and Democratic discussion doesn't exist. The old days, politics was the art of compromise. You have a view, I have a view, we go somewhere in the middle. Here it's been my way, the highway for at least 15 to 20 years, maybe longer, and it's very unfortunate. But in terms of the markets, they're going to be happy. So, I mean, that's what we're talking about here. So the U.S. will continue to be a strong place, again, with the deregulation. What I'm hoping to see, and I'm not sure about this yet, is the emphasis on the infrastructure, which we haven't seen yet. So I'm hoping in January, there's a hope now, not a forecast, that he will put the emphasis on the infrastructure development, which is extremely important and also extremely helpful. The other areas he's already going to start pushing. So we'll see. That's number one.
I know you really made some strong recommendations, and you were right on some of those infrastructure stocks like Martin Marietta and so forth about a year ago. You did a great job on those.
Yeah, and the defense stocks, of course, did well as well, actually.
Okay, so let's move on to the gold market.
Gold. Okay, first of all, you know I love gold. I'm a Leo. But the problem is this. Gold has a lot of headwinds. And the headwinds are the Fed is going to raise interest rates again, but not in a big deal. We predicted when they talked about their plan of 9 interest rate increases that they'd do 7. Might do 8, but I think 7. I'm delighted that they're planning on doing 3 more because it's very helpful for the economy in a lot of ways. But it is a bit of a headwind for gold. The other big headwind for gold is both Bitcoin and marijuana stocks, because there are 2 reasons people buy gold, fear and greed. Well, the fear, you still want to buy gold. Anyone who thinks Bitcoin is a store of value is buying tulips, and we'll find that out in the long run. But from the viewpoint of greed, you can't match what you can do on Ethereum, ADA, and all those stocks that, triple, quadruple. I mean, they look like marijuana stocks look like snails in comparison to what these are doing. I think it's very dangerous. More than 90% of the 1,300, more than 90% are going to be worthless in about 3 years, in the same way internet stocks were, which doesn't mean you can't trade them. So now, going back to gold, you like it? It's undervalued. In our viewpoint, it's worth $13.88. It's been holding the 1250 level pretty well. It will be over 1,300, we think, in the next couple of months, but this is a fundamental view, because astrologically it has headwinds as well, and we do think we'll get to 1,400 over the next 2 years, 3 years, next year.
We're right out of time. Henry Weingarten from the Astrologers Fund. Thank you for joining us. Talk to you next week, Henry. Have a great weekend.
Right, catch you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You are listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. 800-667-9035. That's 800-667-9035.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. $39.95 and free economy shipping. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. Get your Bug Assault today.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA pack technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, December 16th, and we have our good friend Harry Boxer hopefully going to join us here in the next few minutes. If not, we'll speak to him next week. We're running a little bit of a holiday, pre-holiday schedule here, so all our guests are not as available as they used to be. At the beginning of segment 3, you may have heard for the last couple of years that excerpts from the Ten Commandments, and as part of the reason for having that on the show is, not only because of my belief in the Judeo-Christian religions, but also particularly with the Eat the Bankers column and the Sinclair Note about keeping honest people honest in this business. The business is not an honest business; it's rigged. We've seen this now for decades. In fact, my mentor, we're going back now to the 1970s, told me, "Mark, you're entering the most crooked business in the world, run by the biggest thieves." And I thought he was a little eccentric at the time. And being a young guy in my 20s at the time, I sort of just took it in stride. And then it turned out over the years, scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal, manipulation, one after another. And, what can we do as investors? It's very difficult. You just either tune it out and just stay along the markets. But, a lot of people have been wiped out by unscrupulous money managers. We've seen the Bernie Madoffs of the world and others, and more of this goes on than it is daily reported. So you got to keep your wits about you, and part of my thinking is, not everything you do is in the stock market. We talk about precious metals, we talk about real estate, we talk about investing in your own business, currencies, keeping money not only in the United States, perhaps in other places. Bitcoin, of course, is a big realization of that. The depreciation of currencies over the years. Look at the British pound. Look at the U.S. dollar since the that was created back in 1913, down like 95% in value. The tremendous debt that we have worldwide, trillions and trillions, the fear that at some point it could blow up. So why does a Bitcoin suddenly gain a favor versus a gold? Well, gold, as you just heard in segment 1, is suppressed, and the government's out there keeping it down for a reason. Gold takes off, and now with Bitcoin taking off, I'm sure governments are not too happy about that. So either they join in or they miss the boat. Meanwhile, we'll get more onto this ranting and raving at another time, but the Bitcoin, is definitely one of the reasons, that the distrust has been confirmed. We've seen the growth of this for decades. My good friend Harry Boxer is available, has joined us on this Saturday morning. Good morning, Harry. Thank you for being with us.
Are you sure I'm a good friend, Mark?
I hope so.
No, of course.
So Harry Boxer produces the techtrader.com, and it's a daily intraday trading service, and it's just really exciting. If you have a chance to tune in, you get a free trial. And swing trades, right? And no matter what the market is doing, Harry seems to find and always finds some interesting trades. So what's cooking now, Harry? Market's into new highs, and nothing has changed.
Well, I mean, the market's fluctuating back and forth with will they test the tax reform? First, as soon as Marco Rubio said I'm not voting for it, it went down. Now that he's voting for it, it's going back up again. It's a little ridiculous. But the trend is your friend, and we broke out to the new all-time highs across the board still. Until this ends, I keep telling everybody the market always goes further, and you think it's going to go both ways, up and down. That goes for individual stocks, too. So we'll see. There's a lot of stocks that we have that are moving. And, of course, you're getting crazy stocks like LFIN today, which is up 200% just intraday today. I mean, we traded it from 11 to 18.5, and it's still got, it doesn't even look like it's breaking down. Actually, the stock started out this morning at 5.5 and ran up to 1880.
Are they a Bitcoin play?
I think they are, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you say the magic word Bitcoin, they certainly take off.
I know. It's sick. It is. And then little PIXL jumped from 225 to 6 before backing off to 4. I mean, I tell people that this is gonna, it's not going to end well, so you got to trade them as you see them. But we have some pretty important moves today in CROX, CROX, in Form Factor, FORM. Some of the mainstream stocks like Overstock, Riot, and Roku all look real good today. We're trading all three of those. So it's a really good trading day at techtrader.com.
What about the GBTC? We've been talking about that for over a year. It's gone from $100, $200 a share to
25.62 now.
Yeah, unbelievable, right?
It's up 188 today, and it's coiling for another move. That's what it looks like. So, and if that breaks out, it'll probably take your mainstream stocks like Overstock and Riot and some of the bigger ones in that sector to the moon, Alex. It's amazing. Really.
All it takes is one announcement by the government or some scandal to unfold overnight or on the weekend, and the Bitcoin market could be kaput, But we do have, I understand, the Mercantile Exchange starting trading Sunday night, so that we'll find out what that's all about.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the low price KLPN, I think, is forming a base and about to break out for a big move into the CES. That's $319.20 right now. It's a cheap stock. I think it could double in the next several weeks, maybe months. But we have some of our swing trades doing fabulous. CREE is doing great. Nectar is doing phenomenal. Nutanix is another, and TNX. And so we're very pleased with the results of some of our recent swing trades.
Let's talk about the marijuana stocks. What's going on with weed and Aurora? Those are two hot ones. Pulling back here a little bit, huh?
Yeah, the overall structure is pretty strong for us. If you look at TWMJF, which is the NASDAQ equivalent of weed, it's the very apex of the large wedge. If it breaks, it's going to be 19 and then 25. It could really explode out of here. So it needs to be watched. And ACB,
FF. Yeah.
Same pattern. If you take a look at both of these, that's the big run-up. They're now at the apex of coils at moving averages. This is a critical time for both of these stocks. And literally can explode out of here. My targets is 7 and 9 on ACBFF trading at 540, 529.
So what would you say the breakout point is for each of them here for our listeners?
Well, if I see any volume above, say, 580, 85 on ACBFF, that's a good indication. It could be going. Excuse me. And TWMJF, that's got to get above 16. Yeah, 1590, 16, and it's off to the races. Right now it's 1503. So keep an eye on those two levels. Right.
For those of you who are unfamiliar, these are the two big players in Canada in the cannabis space. GW Pharmaceutical, which is the big biopharma here in the U.S., is sort of the blue chip down here. And what about Therapix? That's been...
it had an explosive move. I told you last week I like the look of it. It went from 493 to 712 in 3-4 days, and then pulled way back, sitting at 528. I think the buy-on is pullback for a move eventually to 7, 10, and 12. But we'll see. And, it's going to be news-related. It's a thin stock.
And real briefly, only a few seconds, the gold market looks like it hit a little trading bottom.
Well, every time I think it does, it pulls back. If you look at JNUG, for example, it ran right back to resistance at the declining top line, at the moving averages, and it's backed off. The GLD, the gold ETF, same thing. They always snap back to resistance. They haven't proven the thing to me yet. I actually like the look of silver a little better. I'm watching the US LV. But the same thing here. If it's snapped back to resistance level, and they need some follow-through. And if they don't get follow-through, they may not be ready yet.
Right. Could be some tax loss selling came in, some bargain hunters came in, but it may not be the big move. You're right. Absolutely.
I think that may hold off until after the midnight. And then it could rip. We'll see.
Harry, I appreciate you joining us. If our listeners want more information, they go to thetechtrader.com, and you still have that 2-week free trial, right?
I do. I just want to throw out one last idea of it.
Oh, sure.
That I've been watching. APPS, a digital turbine. If you look at this chart, you won't believe how phenomenal this technical stuff. Great start. I think it's going to be a $2.75 to $3 stock. It's trading at $1.80 now.
Harry, thank you for joining us. We ran out of time. Harry Boxer from thetechtrader.com. Thank you all for joining us here on Wall Street Raw. And as we say each week, we will know in the fullness of time.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Alpha, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week Elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
The answer to being in control of your own healthcare is freedom from insurance. Become part of a group of self-pay patients that come together to share in each other's medical expenses. Individual share amounts begin at $107 a month and $347 for families. Choose from 3 health sharing programs. Holistic treatments may be eligible for sharing. See guidelines. Discount programs available for dental, vision, and pharmacy. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.